Good day and welcome to the Doctrine of Christ. My name is Pastor T.L. Emmanuel and I have a very important announcement to make. I believe this is going to be beneficial to you. So please listen carefully because this has to do with where we are and where we are going. Amen. For the past 2 years, I've been reporting on my Facebook page that God said there are two significant things coming to the earth. Two. The first thing is, He said there's a collapse coming. That's the first thing. Secondly, He says there's a storm coming. A storm. However, these two things are one. What I'm about to share with you has to do with the timing of this collapse and the timing of this storm. I'm now going to share 3 prophecies with you that are linked to the timing of the collapse and the storm. On the 4th of March, 2021, I shared the following vision on my Facebook page. I saw the months of the year laid out before me. It was like a giant calendar laid out on the ground. Prominent on the calendar were the months of May and the month of June. I knew the other months were portrayed, but were, however, not the focal point. Suddenly, a large stopper, almost like an obelisk or a giant wall, emerged out of the ground in the month of June. It just emerged like a wall, just became so big, so prominent. This giant wall was almost like a border or a divider or a cutoff point that separated the one half of the year from the other. The wall felt like it was L-shaped, with the base of the L facing towards the first half of the year. Later, the wall tipped over and the base of the L was facing the second half of the year. The effect was the same. With the base of the L facing the second half of the year, the vertical part of the L was facing the first half of the year. It looked like a large, imposing wall blocking everything from entering into the second half of the year. It looked like a border wall blocking everything before June from passing through June into the rest of the year. From what I saw, it felt like something with global and international significance, as if the world has until June to prepare for something significant, and after June, something would have been introduced. It felt like June would be a cutoff point of sorts, and that's why I'm doing this with you. This is very concerning. It's a very concerning prophetic word. June is a cutoff point of sorts. We should therefore expect something significant to happen to our world after June. After June. The world before June and after June will be significantly different. The G7 nations recently held their annual summit in Cornwall in the UK. The Group of 7 is an intergovernmental political forum consisting of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK, and the US. These are the nations that are driving the New World Order aggressively. At this year's summit, they used language developed by Klaus Schwab, who is the executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. After the world woke up to the reality of COVID-19 last year, Klaus Schwab spoke of the Great Reset, which is also the title of his new book and was also the focus of last year's World Economic Forum conference in Davos. He also used the phrase, "Let's build back better," very important, which was repeated by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and UK's Prince Charles and many others. US President Biden's presidential campaign against Donald Trump also used that phrase as a slogan. From this year's summit, the G7 emerged with one common focus and resolve. Let's build back better. Very concerning. This is not a coincidence. I believe that after June, we're going to see the globalist agenda accelerate more aggressively. We are going to see them step up their efforts to implement their sinister agenda like never before. Don't forget that there's a Delta variant of COVID-19 that's spreading rapidly globally. It's currently the dominant strain in the UK and will most definitely spread in the US and Canada soon. So this is very concerning. It's now the month of June. Something is about to happen. They've met and now many things are beginning to happen. Different countries are now reporting lockdowns. Many countries are saying that this variant is now spreading like wildfire, I believe the conference had something to do with it. It happened now in the month of June. Something now is about to follow. But on the 4th of February this year, I shared the following word again on Facebook. I had a vision, and in this vision, I saw myself in the spirit wearing an oversized wristwatch. It didn't quite fit my wrist because its face was noticeably larger than my wrist. It was a huge wristwatch. Then I saw a figure whose face I couldn't make out, also wearing a wristwatch. But he was looking straight ahead, and with his index finger, he tapped the watch several times as if indicating that time is up. Time is up. What's about to happen is about to happen. We're very close. As if to say, hurry up. And I believe that now, the month of June is that month. So I believe these two words are therefore linked. But the thing that's very concerning, which is what I saw recently, and it's something that I also reported on Facebook, on my page, on the 21st of June, while praying for the nations, I saw and heard the following. I saw a map of the world laid out before me. Then I saw what looked like blood or red paint move from Asia in the east and begin to fill all the nations of the world. It looked like streaks of blood or red paint flowing into each and every nation on earth. It happened very quickly. It wasn't drips or splashes, but rather like flowing thick paint as if being spilled from a central source. While seeing all this, the Lord impressed on me that it was Christian persecution. Christian persecution. He impressed on me that the persecution that we have seen in Asian nations such as North Korea, which is number one on the persecution watch list, and China and India will soon fill the entire world. He impressed on me that the coming Christian persecution will come with a dictatorship style of Asian states and countries. We've also been told that there's a dictatorship coming. We'll talk more about that. He's also told us that we need to prepare for persecution. We'll talk more about that as well. We'll therefore see the restrictions of Asian nations being imposed on the rest of the world, including so-called free nations such as the US and other Western democracies. That's coming very soon to the world. While still looking at that map with red paint or blood moving from Asia to the rest of the world, the Lord said this to me: COVID-19 increasing the world over. It will be another outbreak. COVID-19 increasing the world over. It will be another outbreak. When that happened, I knew that there's a correlation between the coming persecution and the next outbreak of COVID-19, which is here already. The same way the red paint or blood flowed out of Asia to the rest of the world, the next wave of COVID-19 is flowing out of Asia to the rest of the world. We know that the current dominant strain is the Delta variant, which was first discovered in India, which is in Asia, and we saw it devastate that part of the world a couple of months ago. The Delta variant is now beginning to become dominant in many parts of the globe, and according to this vision, it will most definitely become a troublesome variant and will lead to another international outbreak. Our own country, South Africa, is already talking about a level 5 lockdown. The pandemic will be used as a means to enforce over the rest of the world totalitarian measures only seen in Asian nations such as North Korea, China, and others. That's coming to the world. That's coming to the world next. The pandemic will be used as a means to shut down church services, harass Christians who refuse to comply with the coming punitive measures. This dictatorship will aim to silence Christian voices so as not to warn others and free them from the new world order and what they want to inflict on the planet next. I believe the red paint or blood symbolizes danger, since red is the color of danger, but also the color of blood, which means there's going to be bloodshed. This is the year of danger. We're now entering a season of grave danger. In the next video, I'm going to break all of this down. I'll also talk about what's going to happen with the church. This is what's coming to the world. The church is very different to the world. The church is going to have a very different experience to the world. For the church, it's going to be positive, mostly. For the world, it's going to be very negative. However, I want to close with this. There are 9 things that the Lord said. I'm just going to list them very quickly where he told us that there's a collapse coming. Number one, a storm coming. Number two, a dictatorship coming. Number three, there's going to be intense persecution. Number five, there's going to be another lockdown. And he says the church is going to suffer through the collapse, meaning persecution. There's going to be a falling away that will come. There's going to be a mutation of the COVID virus, which is here already. There's going to be a corrupt vaccine, which is here already. And there's going to be global surveillance that's going to come to the world. I'm going to close with that. In the next video, we're going to do more and break it down. God bless you.